A 16-year-old girl with cerebral palsy weighed only 23 pounds when she was removed from her family's home.
Now her mother is accused of starving the girl. Nancy's in the newsroom with more on that story. Nancy?
Well, Larry and Robin, DCFS admits this case was botched and there's no excuse for it. A Chicago Tribune investigation revealed the agency took 4 months to locate Darlene Armstrong despite an emergency hotline call about her condition. We'd like to warn you that the image we're about to show may be disturbing. Darlene was 16 years old and weighed just 23 pounds when she was taken to Comer Children's Hospital last March. She had cerebral palsy, could not walk or talk, and measured just 3 feet 10 inches. Doctors confirmed her serious condition was due to long-term malnutrition and neglect. A tip to an emergency hotline came in on November 17th, but a DCFS caseworker failed to actually see Darlene until March 14th. Since then, mother Rosetta Harris pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of endangering the life of a child. She was sentenced to probation and parenting classes. In an interview with the Tribune, the 50-year-old said she's a good mother and Darlene was well cared for. Under DCFS policy, children must be seen within 24 hours of a hotline call. But the caseworker on Darlene's case left after a relative said the girl and her mother weren't home. The caseworker just knocked and left after 2 other visits in January and February. She finally saw Darlene in March and immediately called 911. Now, the teen remains hospitalized and is now improving and gaining weight. While caseloads are high due to staff and budget cuts, DCFS tells the Tribune this case should have been handled with urgency. There have been hotline calls about Darlene Armstrong since the age of 1. Live in the newsroom, Nancy Liu, WGN News.
A few things is terribly wrong with this picture. Number one, ever since that child was 1 year old, the state has been getting calls about this child. And yet the state has not done anything about it. A caseworker knock on the door, they don't get an answer, or somebody say not home, they turn and walk off and leave. When you get a report, you're supposed to investigate these reports thoroughly until you find out either it's true or it's not true. That's usually the procedure for any child protective services. But I guess in their particular city, it doesn't matter if people are constantly calling in to you about something that's going on with a child. So either you're very neglectful or you just don't care whatsoever. It's one of the two or both. There's no reason for this child to get to this point before somebody finally showed up. It took 4 months, even at that point, for you to find out what was going on. And then on top of that, you get this child. She's 23 pounds. She looked like some child in a famine in Africa somewhere, but she's in the United States of America. She's 3'10". She's so malnourished. And yet all this woman got was a misdemeanor charge? Are you kidding me? Misdemeanor? That should have been a felony, that picture we just saw. That should have been jail time automatically. But she gets probation, and I guarantee you she'll get her child back. Some of these women get away with doing some stuff to their kids, but I guarantee you if a man did it, if I did that to my child, I bet you believe I'll be in the jail. My face will be all on the news, and I'll be the devil of the week if I did it as a man. Oh, but she did it, and she got the nerve to say she feels she's a good mother. Starving your child like that, and you're a good mother? Wow. And then the court just like, don't do that anymore. Here's probation. Here's your child back. You know that's what they're going to do. They're going to give her a child back. So you got this child gaining weight in the hospital, trying to recover. It's this world, man. It just amazed me. I'm sorry, but I noticed the sexism that go on with these kids. Women get away with a lot, and nothing happens to them. But if a man do it, it's hell to pay. I mean, these kids need to be defended. Gender should not matter. And I'm going off of saying gender because you see how the cases go when males versus females do things. Even statistics prove that males get more jail time for crime than women. And this is against a child. This is against someone who has a disability, a cerebral palsy, okay? And yet, you don't get, the courts don't even get enraged about this, that she's abusing a special needs child? And there you go the question, where's her father? Not mentioned, nowhere heard at all. Always that question. Once again, men, and I'm going to say this all the time to you, and I'm going to direct this at you. I want to direct anything at women. If she's not worth your last name, she's not worth having your child. Period. Because usually we're going to try to marry a woman we think is a decent woman. Okay? So you have that mindset before you make kids. You won't be making mistakes a lot of you making having kids with women that don't have they screws screwed in too tight. You feel me? But anyway, what y'all think about that? Because this is a complete abuse of a special needs child. And all she get is a slap on the wrist and probation. It's sad. Anyway, hit me up in the comments. For future commentary, subscribe to the YouTube channel.